Assemble! Stay dandy, baby. Naruto and Sasuke versus Ishiki Round 2 has officially begun, and it's just as exciting as you could possibly expect. The only big difference here is now Boruto is a part of the battle, and he ends up being one hell of a wild card, especially with the way that this latest chapter comes to an end. So let's go ahead and jump right into this one. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I really liked this chapter. I know it goes without saying that I'm a big fan of the Naruto and Boruto franchise, as I'm just so invested in this world and the characters that exist in it that I'm always happy to consume something new from it. My general consensus when talking to people about this chapter, however, is that they're not really a big fan of the things that are actually going on here, mostly when it comes to Naruto and Sasuke battling against Ishiki. Now, I understand some of the complaints with the fact that it almost makes it seem as if Naruto and Sasuke are weaker than they've ever been in the entire series. But the fact of the matter is, Ishiki is also the most powerful villain that we have seen outside of Kaguya in the entire franchise. And the fact of the matter is, he has an ability which allows him to shrink objects and summon even smaller ones. So that practically negates almost every single thing that Naruto and Sasuke is going to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see Naruto suddenly summon like a massive form of Kurama. I want to see Sasuke bring out the Susanoo. Maybe even use Amaterasu for once. Like, wouldn't that be really convenient? Isn't that supposed to be like one of the most end-all, be-all techniques in the series? Just look in Ishiki's direction and boom, the dude's burning up in black flames? It doesn't really end up happening here. Instead, we're getting a lot of the tried and true techniques of the characters. Stuff like Rasengans, Kurama arms, sword swipes, and Chidoris. All the classic things that you would expect from Naruto and Sasuke, and Ishiki just manages to battle through all of it with no problem whatsoever. Although, I do have to say, again, his ability to make things shrink has made his battles really intense. I mean, just the little moment where Sasuke tries to attack him with his sword when suddenly he turns it into what is essentially just a little butter knife. Like, little moments like that are really great. That combined with his overall godlike nature and the ability to just be really fast and superhuman strong makes him one hell of an opponent here. And I have a feeling that since Boruto is actually here on the battlefield, they have to hold back just a little bit. Boruto is the main character of the series, and he's clearly going to be key to this battle in the future of what's going to be going on in the war with Kara and the Otsutsuki, but still, he's not that strong yet. We have to see how far he can actually go, and he is really important to this chapter, and we'll get to that in just a second. But aside from the actual battle of Naruto and Sasuke, which again I think was exciting, but nothing too groundbreaking, we also go back to Konoha Village, where you have Amato, who's basically just sort of reassuring Kawaki that basically the karma is gone, and he's a free bird, as he says. There's nothing to even worry about here. But the thing is, Ishiki still needs him as a vessel, so he's still going to desperately try and hunt him down, so he's not really free at all. And I agree with Kawaki in this sentiment, and again, I'm always trying to look for all these like little seeds that they're planting to show if Kawaki is eventually going to leave the village, or how he's actually going to end up getting taken over by Ishiki, because I still firmly believe that's actually what's happening at the very beginning in that big scene at the beginning of Boruto, when him and Boruto are actually battling against a destroyed backdrop of Konoha Village. I just want to see like how eventually it's all going to lead up to that moment. Basically, though, it's just them just kind of hanging out while the big battle is going on. But let's talk about the biggest part of the chapter, with Boruto getting involved a couple of times in this battle, and mostly it comes to fruition at the very end, where as Sasuke is about to be killed by Ishiki, suddenly Boruto grabs him and starts to protect him, and Ishiki does not try to attack. He doesn't try to go after him, and that's when Boruto realizes that Ishiki can't kill him. And a lot of this is probably having to do with the fact that Boruto is currently going what Ishiki calls, and I think this is a hilarious term for it, Otsusification. That's basically what's going on here, as he slowly starts to get consumed by Momoshiki. But there's a couple of like theories and ideas as to why Ishiki will not kill Boruto, and the most obvious one being is that, one, he wants Boruto's body to be taken by Momoshiki. I mean, Momoshiki is from the same clan. There's probably a relationship between these two characters which we don't quite know about quite yet. They could straight up be related. They could be brothers. They could be really good friends with one another. There could be some unwritten law that says Otsutsukis cannot kill each other, and there is precedence against this too, how it could come with a massive penalty. Like, look at what happened with Kaguya. Kaguya. She ended up betraying the clan, and eventually this led to them all coming to try and get revenge against her, which is why she was preparing. Basically, you don't go against the family. That's basically what I'm getting from, like, this entire story here, and it really shows that the Otsutsukis are very close-knit with one another, and they don't do things against one another lightly, or maybe it's almost like a mob mafia kind of rule. If you want to go up against another, you gotta get permission from the higher-ups in order to do this, which begs so many more questions as to how this clan even works in the first place, and for the potential that there could actually be more of them out there that we don't even know about. But the fact of the matter is, Ishiki doesn't want to kill Boruto, and he seems to want to bring Momoshiki into this world. And that just raises so many questions and theories and potential for what could happen for the rest of the series. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So, what's the rundown on this chapter of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? So I thought it was a pretty solid chapter. Again, like I said, can it be frustrating at times when you don't see Naruto and Sasuke going completely all out in the ways that we saw in maybe their final battle, or maybe even in their battle against frickin' Momoshiki himself? Yeah, it can be kind of frustrating like that. But again, it's also the way that it's actually portrayed in the manga version. I have a feeling when we get to this in the anime, it's going to be significantly more impactful in terms of what they're actually doing, how fast they're moving, how much pain they're actually going to deliver, and of course the anime always expands on things too, so you know we're going to see a lot more of that. But yeah, I definitely understand where people can be kind of annoyed over the fact that it seems like they are holding back just a little bit. Again, I think Boruto there is definitely a huge factor in all of this, though. I really do think that's what's going on, and if that is the case, well, they kind of screwed themselves a little bit. But even still, I do believe that Ishiki is just on an entirely different level than some of the people that they fought against. And again, the only comparable person really could be Kaguya or maybe even Momoshiki. And remember, it took two of them to actually go up against him, and they couldn't even defeat Kaguya. They had to seal her away, and it had the help of frickin' Sakura and Kakashi as well. So there was a lot of really crazy things going on there. But here, this is a little more simple. But again, this guy just has abilities that they've never dealt with before, and having to think on the fly when all of their techniques and weapons can actually just be sort of nullified with his abilities, you know, really makes him dangerous, especially because you never know what he's going to summon with his ability. Something could just pop out from nowhere and just crush you. That's just the way that his abilities work. It's really insane and very creative. I mean, I've made the joke before, and a lot of people have too, and the comparison, the fact that this is very similar to like how Ant-Man's abilities work, but when you give that to a godlike ninja entity, it just gets used in a completely different way. So yeah, I am enjoying this chapter. You can call me a Narutard if you want, but I am really enjoying everything that the series is actually bringing. Not much actually happened in this chapter outside of that it was just a big action chapter, but isn't that what we wanted to see? Weren't we excited to see more of this fight, which clearly is not over quite yet? This is just like a warm-up before we get to the next part of the battle. And if I had to imagine, it's probably going to end with some sort of shocking twist. So I can't wait to see how all that's going to go down. But overall, that's my thoughts on the chapter. I thought that it was really exciting. I'm giving the chapter a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. That being said, your thoughts may differ, but I'd love to get your thoughts about this chapter in the comment section below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you're thinking about the battle with Naruto and Sasuke battling against Ishiki and his crazy shrinking abilities. And of course, I want to ask you guys, why is Ishiki not killing Boruto? Is it because of Momoshiki? Is there some sort of weird Otsutsukee clan law? Give me your thoughts, theories, and hopes and dreams for the future of the Boruto Naruto Next Generations manga series. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. For those who are watching my Boruto manga reviews, remember, I'm also reviewing the anime series, which is going on right now, so please make sure to check those out. They just started the Kara arc, and they're adding a lot more to it in terms of the brand new characters and new storylines, so definitely make sure to check that stuff out on the channel and in the playlist. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video. Give the video a thumbs up if you really liked it. I also want to thank all my patrons who've been checking out my Patreon page. You guys are freaking awesome. Not only do you give me great feedback on all of my videos and share them with all your friends, but you're making monthly donations, and I can't thank you enough for that. Remember, first-time donators, if you make a donation, I'll review an anime series of your choice. I have a couple of Patreon-supported reviews which are going to be coming out soon, so please make sure to stay tuned for those. I also want to add your name to this list of super awesome people who check out this channel every single day. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.